7 minutes past 8. Welcome back to Sunrise City, where we continue our focus on taking a look at that decision by the government in line with, they say, reducing the cost of governance. But Dr. Chima Nnaji joins us now, a public affairs analyst and a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much, and good morning, guys.
Well, the thing about this, looking at them reducing the cost of governance. Yes, while there may be detailed examination of the kind of effect it will have on those agencies of government which are trying to merge, streamline, scrap, reorganize the public sector, they say. But the cost of governance, because you have people who will think, how will this all by itself reduce cost of governance when you have to first of all talk about leakages in some quarters? But can they go hand in hand? While you're reducing the cost of governance, you're also blocking the leakages in government.
The professor who just left the set used the word honesty. And that's very much a commodity that is lacking in our system. Because of greed, the level of rapacity in government is overwhelming. And so when people are hammering out certain policies, it is not so much about how it will benefit the system. It is so much about how they can engage in self-aggrandizement, in the sense that they will sell what looks like platitudes. Like a good drug manufacturer will sugarcoat the thing, but the real drug is very bitter. If you have the misfortune of leaving it in your mouth for some more seconds without gulping it down, that's where you get the real ingredient that does the job. So everybody's agreed on the necessity, even now, to reduce the cost of governance, because the impact of escalated and bloated cost of governance is there in the street. It is there in the sense that Nigerians are working as poverty. Poverty works with two legs. But in Nigeria, sometimes it has the fourth leg. You see people who ordinarily would be able to afford 2 meals. They are no longer able to even give their family one good meal. Okay, one meal, not talking about whether it is balanced or not. It is all reflective of the level of costs that Nigerians have to absorb. Because you're not talking about reduction. If you reduce from A and push it to B, where you are more likely to clean it out, what has the system benefited? Nothing.
But in this case, is it going to be holistic? Wouldn't the tendency be reduced? Because if you reduce from A and push to B, of course, naturally, you have a lot of focus on B to ensure that, look, this money doesn't just vanish.
That's not in Nigeria. In Nigeria is that when you see, for example, let's make it more practical. If you know that the tributary roads will draw down on the budget for roads and impact positively in the welfare of the people, and of course, when the people are happy, your purse is leaner as the man who embezzles public funds. I mean, it's an inverse relationship. So what you do now is that you award the contract on paper and appropriate the money into your own account. So that on paper it is done, and in fact next year you bring it for maintenance. You still gulp down that money. There used to be a time people used to say, these roads were poorly done. That means somebody spent part of the budget and took kickback. Nobody kicks back again. They take it. They take the entire budget. So if it is now time that government is directing its attention, because Chinua Achebe, in one of his books, once said that it is easier to manage poverty. I don't know whether it is easier to manage. If you have 5 naira and you are very hungry, you can afford to go hungry for the whole day because you don't know what the 5 naira can go for. Is it for pure water or groundnut or biscuits? You are confused. So you hold the 5 naira. For 2 weeks, you can still be holding that 5 naira.
While you are still hungry.
You are hungry, but the body will naturally adjust. But if you give that same man 100,000 naira in the morning, he will remember Sheraton, how that place looks like, how cozy it could be if he had a lunch. 2 times there, the money is gone. And he goes back to, that's what is even happening to many of our politicians. Because many of them don't work for the money. So when they get it, they fritter it away in junketing and so on. So the cost of governance is an imperative that we must bring it down, because our oil, there's so much competition out there, and we cannot continue to embark on this type of frivolity for eternity. It is dawning on us now that people say there will be no Nigeria in 2000. It is not political. It is economic. What can do us in is the economic ravages.
You know, if you look at it, it's quite huge. Honestly, going through this and you look at the recommendation, abolition of 38 agencies and merger of 52 and reversal of 14 departments in ministries, it means that almost 100 of them were just floating and we had huge funds. But the fear here is what you just highlighted. Taking the monies being saved or gotten from the merger or collapse or abolition of some of these agencies, departments and ministries, and put them somewhere else that we as a nation can't even find them for proper use.
That is the problem, honesty. When you have problem of honesty, you also contend with the problem